and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Sarah Drake.
And I'm Brianna Jones. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics. After a loss by ULM early Saturday afternoon, the Trojan men's basketball team matchup against Georgia Southern turned into a fight for the 3rd seed in the Sun Belt tournament, one that saw the Trojans end up with the 7th seed. Troy fell to Georgia Southern 89-83 Saturday afternoon to wrap up the regular season. Jordan Varnado led the Trojans with 27 points, but it wasn't enough to secure the win and a 3rd seed in the tournament this week. The loss also gave the Trojans a losing overall record of 15-16, although their wins and losses were even in Sun Belt play at 9-9.
The Trojan women's basketball team closed out their regular season with a dominating performance against Georgia Southern on Saturday. Troy got a career-best performance from Jasmine Sanders as it defeated Georgia Southern 95-80 on Saturday to wrap up the regular season. Sanders turned in career highs with 28 points and 8 rebounds. The freshman was 11 of 16 from the field, including 5 of Troy's season-high 13 three-pointers. Troy has now won 10 of its last 12 games heading into this week's Sun Belt Conference tournament.
The Trojan men's basketball team is one game closer to repeating as Sun Belt champs after a win against South Alabama. After a slow start, the Trojans seemed to get back on their feet in the second half and knocked off the Jags 69-62 in the first round action of the Sun Belt tournament in New Orleans. Jordan Varnado led the Trojans with 22 points and 9 rebounds. However, the second half defense helped secure the win. Troy only allowed 6 field goals from South in the second half. The win marked the first time in school history Troy has won 3 games against South Alabama in a season and the 5th straight win in the Sun Belt tournament stretching to last season. Head coach Phil Cunningham on the game.
I thought this game was typical of tournament play where the opening round, both teams had the jitters. I mean, we came out really slow. Jordan had some uncharacteristic misses around the rim. And they were playing well. They really played well first half. And the one thing we had to do, we had to try to just keep grinding. We talked about it at halftime, just keep grinding and get into their legs. Thought we were into their legs a little bit toward the end of the half. And just grinded one out. It wasn't pretty, but
the Trojan women's basketball team is on their way to the Sun Belt Championship semifinals after a nail-biting victory over South Alabama. The Trojans defeated the Jags 82-79 to advance past the first round. The Trojans led by as much as 13 during the second half, but South Alabama clawed their way back to within 1 point in the final seconds of the game. Harriet Winchester led the Trojans with 15 points, followed by both Robinsons, Kayla and Jasmine, who contributed 14 apiece. Head coach Chanda Rigby says rebounding was the key to victory.
I'm just really thankful. I don't know if there's been many times that we've shot in the 30% and the other team shot in the 50%, and we still came out and won. But it was because, once again, rebounding. We out-rebounded them by 19, so almost 20. If it wasn't for that, we would not have had a chance in the game. And I want to credit Skyland Holmes for coming off the bench. She set the tone on rebounding. She came off the bench, very selfless, and just did the job. She just went to work, rolled her sleeves up and went to work. So I'm proud of the whole team.
Up next, the Trojans take on the #1 seed Little Rock Trojans Saturday at 5 p.m. Troy defeated UALR in their only meeting in an overtime victory in Trojan Arena.
When it comes to awards, it seems the Trojans are unstoppable, as the women's basketball team had not 1 or 2, but 3 of their players received Sun Belt honors. 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Week Kayla Robinson, along with Amber Rivers, were named All Sun Belt Conference second team. Junior Skyland Holmes was named the Sun Belt Newcomer of the Year. Rivers led the team in scoring majority of the season and ranked 7th in the league, averaging 14.2 points per game. Robinson took over the starting point guard role, now averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And as for Holmes, who is 4th in the league, she's averaging 6 rebounds per game and is 2nd in the league for offensive rebounds, averaging 3.5.
The men also racked in some Sun Belt honors for senior Wesley Person. You can say he is getting used to the limelight, and especially this season. Person was rewarded All Sun Belt 3rd team, making him the 5th player to earn the title 4 times. His selection makes him just the 2nd player ever to be on the team every year of his collegiate career, and the first to do it in more than 30 years. Junior Jordan Varnado was named 2nd team All Sun Belt after being named to the 1st last season. This all comes after Varnado missed 5 weeks leading up to conference play due to a stress fracture in his foot.
Swinging into some baseball, the Trojan baseball team were 1-1 against Tennessee Tech as of Sunday, and the team looked to make that record 2-1 in their favor when they took on the Golden Eagles for a 3rd time to wrap up that series. Nick Brooks has the highlights.
In a weekend where the #2 team in the nation in scoring in Tennessee Tech came to Riddle Pace Field, offense was not a problem as combined 58 runs were scored over the 3-game series. Sunday's rubber match got off to a quick start offensively for the Trojans, but later found themselves in a dogfight. Head coach Mark Smart talks about the back-and-forth action late in the game.
We hit some adversity. They had an 8-run inning. They hit a big grand slam to take the lead, and our team really hung in there and found a way to score in the bottom of that inning with 2 outs and nobody on. We scored 6 to take the lead, and honestly, if we don't score in that inning, I don't know that we come back and win.
It was a jam-packed offensive weekend for the Trojans as they scored 29 runs and went 2-1 against Tennessee Tech and had a thrilling 13-12 victory on Sunday.
Coach Smart and Drew Frederick, who hit a big 3-run home run, talk about the moment.
And that's his first career home run. What a moment for him. A 3-run game-tying homer in the bottom of the 7th. Special moment for him. Really proud for Drew. He's turning into a heck of a player. He's only a sophomore, and he's getting better every day.
I kind of just blacked out, to be honest. Like, I didn't really have much going through my head other than just see the ball and hit it.
Right fielder Joey Dennison had a monster weekend at the plate and talks about how he felt.
I was seeing the ball well, getting good pitches to hit and capitalizing whenever they did miss and made a mistake, so I was pleased with the weekend.
Pitcher C.J. Carter, who came in to pitch with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th and came back for the 9th to shut the door, talks about the situation.
I mean, I've done it before. Let's do it again. I was just ready. I was like, let's get it.
Nick Brooks, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The team then traveled up to Birmingham Tuesday night to take on the Sanford Bulldogs, and after a slow start, made their way back to Troy with the win. Troy ended their trip to the Magic City with a 5-4 win. However, the Trojans had to claw back from an early 3-run deficit to snag the W. Troy was down 4-1 after 5 innings of play. A 2-run ninth put the Trojans on top of the Bulldogs to win the game. Pitcher Rush Hickson says that it was good that the team kept fighting to mount the comeback.
It was not a very good game for us. We didn't play very good, but we found a way to win. A midweek game on the road, so there's a lot of positives to take out of that. But as a whole, we know we got to do better. The way we played last night won't win against a higher caliber opponent in a bigger setting. So although we did win, there's some stuff that we really got to work on moving forward.
And if the win wasn't big enough, one of the big plays of the night got a little national attention. It made it into SportsCenter's top 10, and it was Rush Hickson making a very unpitcher-like play. In the bottom of the first, Hickson made a diving catch of a pop-up foul ball. The catch ended as the number 2 play on SportsCenter's top 10 last night. Hickson said he was glad to be recognized for the defensive play since he wasn't having that great of a night.
It's pretty incredible. My heart was beating, honestly, on the bus because all the teammates, all the guys on the bus were counting down with the SportsCenter thing, and it got to 3, and they're like, oh, it's going to be 1 or 2, and then when it popped up, everybody just went crazy. And when that happened, it was pretty cool feeling, up there with, actually winning a game. So, like I said earlier, with my frustrating night, I felt like I had on the mound to do that and to have that, the way the night ended, it was pretty cool.
And senior Joey Dennison was named Sunbelt Player of the Week. Last weekend against Tennessee Tech, Dennison owned the diamond with 1 homer, a triple, 4 stolen bases, 6 runs, and 11 RBIs. 6 of those 11 came from Friday's game against, which is the most recorded in a game by any Trojan. He is already leading his teammates after he drove home 2 more runs in the midweek matchup, taking his RBI count to 21 on the season. Dennison entered the game ranking 13th nationally in the category.
The Trojan softball team went undefeated in tournament play over the weekend in Florida. Troy completed the sweep of the D9 Citric Classic on Sunday with a 2-1 win over Binghamton, as the Trojans went 5-0 on the weekend. Logan Calhoun finished the weekend with 6 hits, 4 runs, including a triple and a home run, and 5 RBIs. The 5 wins Troy picked this weekend marks the longest win streak for Troy so far this season.
And after a career weekend in the circle, Trojan softball freshman Annie Willis has been named Sunbelt Pitcher of the Week. Willis was key in Troy's 5-0 sweep at the Diamond 9 Citrus Classic in Orlando, earning 2 of Troy's 5 wins. She pitched 13 innings, only allowing 7 hits during the weekend and striking out 15 batters. Willis improved to 4-1 on the year and ranked 16th in the nation and leads the Sunbelt with an ERA of .66 through 32 total innings of work this season. Willis is second on the team with 32 strikeouts, and opponents are only hitting .167 with the freshman in the circle.
The women's tennis team was on a 6-game losing streak, but finally found a way to end it. The ladies defeated Nicholls State this past Saturday to earn their first win of the 2018 season and in a dominating fashion. Head coach Rawia El Sisi talked about how having a healthy team always results in a better outcome.
we've been training the past 2 weeks, and I mentioned earlier, we've been struggling a little bit with a few injuries, which in tennis is a little bit tough, especially when you have 7 players and few main players in the top lineup gets injured. It, pushes the lineup a little bit. So the last match, we're healthy. We played the match at home, and after a good solid 2 weeks of training, no rain, no delays, nothing, we were able to be in the good track.
After finishing day 1 of the HEB College Classic with a win, Troy stuck to the winning ways with a dominating 4-0 victory against DePaul to close out the tournament on Saturday. Mustafa Belcourt and Oscar Milacheka started things off with a 6-3 win in doubles play, followed by a 6-4 victory by Andy Lau and Amr Bedouin. Then Troy won 3 straight set matches in singles play to close out the win. Lau again was victorious on the afternoon as he picked up his 8th win on the year with a 6-2, 6-0 decision. Troy will remain in Texas with a trip to Arlington to face UT Arlington.
The men's golf team fired a season-best 3 under 285 to climb into 8th place in the final round of the Tiger Invitational at the Grand National Lakes course. Callum Master and Connor Futrell both turned in cards under par to lead the Trojans, who had their best finish of the year. Master shot a 68 in Monday's round and made the turn at 1 over, but carded 4 birdies on the back 9 to shoot 2 under and finish tied for 23rd overall. Masters finished tied with Futrell with 12 birdies over the course of the event. Futrell opened on fire as he raced out to 5 under par through his first 6 holes of the day. After a double bogey pushed him to 3 under, Futrell rallied for 2 birdies around a bogey for his best round of the season. He finished tied for 48. Dean Martin had 3 birdies on the day and shot 1 over to finish at 3 over for the tournament and tied for 31st place. Ike Alexander tied for 62nd place after shooting 7 over on Tuesday, while Mac Murray fired his best round of the season with a 2 over 74 thanks to 4 birdies to finish tied for 74th.
Troy's future football schedule took shape on Wednesday as Athletic Director Jeremy McClain announced a home-and-home series with Memphis and a single game at South Carolina in 2021. Troy, who knocked off SEC foe LSU in Death Valley this past season, will make the trip to Columbia, South Carolina on September 25, 2021. It will be the 4th all-time meeting between the 2 schools, with the Gamecocks winning the previous 3 in 2004, 2005, and 2010. The team will also travel to the Liberty Bowl on September 7, 2024 to open the home-and-home series with Memphis. And the Tigers will make the return trip to the Vet on September 13, 2025. The schools have met 5 times previously as they played every year from 1937 to 1941. Troy won the first meeting and Memphis claimed the Final 4 contest. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the baseball's matchup against Gardner-Webb.
But first, Sarah sits down with baseball pitcher Rush Hickson. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.